Welcome to Pharmaceutical Concept, a channel for health, wellness, and pharmaceuticals. Today's topic of discussion is interview questions in pharma production, tips and question answer Q&A for freshers and experienced. What is Site Master File (SMF)? It contains general information about the plant, quality system, personnel, premises, equipments, production system, documentation, quality control system, self-inspection, and site inspection history. What is line clearance? Line clearance is a process in which provides a high degree of confidence or assurance that the said line or area is free from any unwanted residue or leftover of previous processing before proceeding for next process. Quality assurance has to provide line clearance before the start of any activity, whether it is batch or batch to batch changeover or product to product changeover. Line clearance change shall be given by quality assurance at raw material dispensing stage, manufacturing stage, packing stage, and in quality control before start of any activity. What is control sample? A control sample is approximately an identified sample that is representative of each batch that has been retained in known as control sample. They are also referred to as retention or reference sample. The control samples shall be collected at the initial, middle, and end of the packing operation of the batch, and the details of the total pooled quantity collected from shall be entered in the respective batch packing record with sign, date, and sample collection time. What is hold time study? Hold time studies shall establish the time limits for holding the material at different stages of production to ensure that the quality of the product does not degrade significantly during the hold time at required temperature and relative humidity. What is expiry date? The date usually placed on the container label of material designated the time during which the material is expected to remain within the established shelf life specification if stored under defined condition, and after which it should not be used. What is relative humidity (RH)? It is the ratio between the actual amount of water vapor present in certain volume of air at given temperature and the maximum amount of water vapor that the air can retain at that temperature. What is quarantine in pharmaceutical? The status of the metal isolated physically or by effective means pending for a decision on their subsequent use. Metals are kept in quarantine area with proper status labeling. In an oral solid dosage manufacturing facility, positive pressure is maintained in processing area or service corridor. Why? In tablet manufacturing facility, pressure gradients are maintained to avoid cross-contamination of product through air. Usually, processing areas are maintained under positive pressure with respect to service corridors. What is positive pressure? Atmospheric pressure, which is higher than the immediate surrounding areas, usually measured in inches of water or Pascal, is positive pressure. What is cross-contamination? Contamination of a material or product with another material or product is called as cross-contamination. What is Schedule M? Good manufacturing practice and requirement of the premises of the plant, waste disposal and equipments. GMP has two parts, Part 1 and Part 2. Part 1 is GMP for factory premises and Part 2 is GMP for plant and equipments. Why 3 consecutive batches has been taken for validation? Consecutive meaning following closely with no gap or following one after another without interpretation. The number of batches to be taken under validation depends on the risk involved in the good critical process parameter CPP and critical quality attributes, so depends upon manufacturer that have to choose number of batches to be validated. If we consider less than 2 batches, the data will not be sufficient for evaluation to prove reproducible data between batch to batch variation, and if we consider more than 3 batches, it may increase the time of cost of manufacturing, which usually not preferred. Generally, if we require quality in the first batch, then it is accidental coincidental. Second batch quality is regular. Third batch quality is validation or confirmation. Statistical evaluation cannot be done by considering 2 points because 2 points always draw a straight line. So minimum 3 points required for comparison of data. What is Site Acceptance Test (SAT)? A site acceptance test, the system is tested in accordance to client approved test plans and specification to show the system is installed properly and interfaces with other systems and peripheral in its working environment. Acceptance test. What is factory acceptance test (FAT)? A factory acceptance test is usually performed by the vendor prior to shipping it to a client. The vendor tests the system in accordance with the client's approved test plans and specification to show that system is at the point to be installed and tested on site. What is User Requirement Specification (URS)? A requirement specification that describes what the equipment or system is supposed to do, that contain at least set of criteria or conditions that to meet. Detailed design and functional specifications shall be taken from the supplier for a particular piece of equipment, instrument, system, facility. The same shall be prepared by the user and reviewed by the engineering quality assurance. Based on the specification, URS document shall be prepared. What is calibration? The demonstration that a particular instrument or device produces results within specific limit by comparing with those produced by a traceable standard over approximate range of measurement. What is validation? Documented program or evidence that provides a high degree of assurance that a specific process, method, or system consistently produces a result indicating predetermined acceptance criteria. studies. Stability studies are performed in life sciences, chemical and food and beverage industry to determine the effects of environmental conditions on product quality. Stability studies provide the supporting data that companies use to establish product storage requirement and expiration dating. What is leak test in packing? The test which is used to check the integrity of the packing strip, blisters, bottle and small sachet containing tablets, capsules and dry powder is called as leak test. The leak test apparatus is used to test the quality of the packing process and to check the seals enclosing the product are perfectly intact and no water should not go inside the pack. It is designed to find the smallest holes or puncture and imperfection in packing products. What are the units of hardness in tablets? Kilogram kg, Newton N, pounds lb, kilopounds kp and strong cube SC. What is the work of the main compression rollers in the compression machine? Main compression roller exert a predetermined amount of force, final compression force for formation of tablet. The compression force at this stage is higher than the pre-compression force. It is important that the rollers remain stable with no vibration during the entire process. This is to ensure consistency of the tablet thickness and size. What is the work of pre-compression rollers in the compression machine? They are the first rollers in rotary tablet press. Basically, these rollers apply a small amount of force on the upper and lower punches. This gives the initial compression force. The aim of this process is to remove air that could be in the dye or in the powder particles. What is hold time study? Hold time study establishes the time limits for holding the metal at different stages of production to ensure the quality of the product does not degrade significantly during the hold time at the required temperature and humidity. Hold time can be considered as the established time period from which the material dispense raw material, intermediates and bulk during the awaiting final packing may be held under the specified conditions and will remain within the defined specification. Hold time studies establish the time limit for holding the material at different stages of production to ensure that the quality of the product does not produce results outside the acceptance criteria during the hold time. What is NFD and how it's work? Non-field detection is a system incorporated into the machine which enables the machine to automatically detect and reject the strips or blisters that have missing tablets or capsules in the cavity. The arrangement involves a sensing system or control system consists of programmable logic controller PLC and HMI human machine interface, an electro-pneumatically activated auto rejection system. Both the strip and blister packing machine as well as the NFD system are designed and built by us to our work, and they are therefore integrated with each other. Which indicator is used in the leak test apparatus? In order to identify the leakage in the blister or strip, methylene blue color is used and the solution of the desiccator required to be used changed every day whenever required. What is dwell time in compression machine? In tablet compression machine, dwell time is the time that the punch remains in the contact with the compression roller, and it is defined as the amount of time and the compression force applied when forming the tablet is above 90% of its peak value. Tooling are how many types? Tooling are 4 types of tooling in compression machine: B tooling, BB tooling, D tooling and DB tooling. D tooling punch and die diameter is greater than the B tooling die and punch. D tooling punch diameter is 25.4 and diameter is 38.10, where B tooling punch diameter is 19 mm and diameter is 30.15. What is tooling in compression machine? In a tablet compression machine, punches and dies are usually used to compress powder to form tablet. Dies and punches and their setup on conversion machine is called as tooling. What are the defects of coated tablets? Stains, cracking, partially coated, incomplete drying, edge broken, peeling, print defects, shade variation, weight variation, debossing, embossing fill. For a partially or partially processed product that must undergo further manufacturing steps which include blend, filled capsule, compressed tablet, coated tablet, etc. What is in-process control or checks? Checks performed during production in order to monitor whether it is meeting the required specification or not, and it is necessary to adjust the process to ensure that the product conforms to its specification. The control of the environment or equipment that may also be regarded as a part of the in-process control. What is yield reconstruction? A comparison between the theoretical quantity of the material and the actual quantity. Yield reconstruction can be done in manufacturing and packaging stages: blending, compression, capsule filling, coating, inspection and packing. Clean area. An area with defined environmental control of particulate and microbial contamination, constructed and used in such a way to reduce the introduction, generation and retention of contaminant within the area. What is airlock? An enclosed space with two or more doors which is interposed between two or more rooms. Example of different classes of cleanliness from the purpose of controlling the airflow between those rooms when need to be entered. An airlock is designed for the use of either by the people or for good or the equipment. Thanks for watching Pharmaceutical Concept, a channel for health, wellness and pharmaceuticals. Like, share, subscribe.